Do you know what a lobbyist is? Well, firstly, they're not a lobby boy, but both jobs do require taking care of people's needs. One in a more literal sense. Lobbying is the act of influencing a decision maker. In this case, we're talking about politics, but say, for example, you were trying to convince your boss to get a new coffee machine for the office. That would also be a form of lobbying. Now, in politics, lobbying is simply getting governments to change their policy or make a new policy after convincing them that this is a good thing to do. Now, you can do this by writing to a politician, but let's just say you might not be heard as well as the rich and powerful, as governments will tend to listen to people or groups who can create jobs, which help generate votes, or threaten their voting base by doing things like advertising campaigns against the government of the day. So then,
What is a lobby boy?
well, a lobbyist is a shiller or a bloke that's paid to get in the ear of politicians and try to sway decision-making and laws in their favour. Who gets lobbied? Well, most of the time it's just those in power, so the Prime Minister and his cabinet. Come election time, if there's a good chance that the opposition or the crossbench might get into power, well then they'll start to be lobbied as well. Who are these guys? Well, 40% of them are former public service workers, so ministers, assistants and staff. Now it's worth noting that former ministers aren't supposed to lobby on anything they previously worked on for the last 18 months of their job for at least a year and a half after they leave office. The same rule with other staff, but it's only 12 months. I say supposed to because an investigation found 5 years ago that 29 lobbyists had broken the rules working for organisations within that 12-month window. A majority of lobbying organisations are represented independently, but like any industry, there are the big dogs, and in Canberra, Thomson Gear has the largest number of clients, representing the likes of Amazon, Virgin, AIA, Blackmores, Ford, and a bunch of defence contractors, as well as minerals, construction, and just over half of the registered lobbyists at Thomson Gear used to work in government. Now, lobbying doesn't guarantee success, but let's say you were at a party fundraiser costing a few $1,000s a head, and you've been seated at the Prime Minister's table or the opposition leader's table. All of a sudden, you have the chance to have a quick word over foie gras and champagne about some policy that might be coming up in Parliament that week. Or, if a few weeks before an election, you have some ideas about what you or your client want to see in the next government. And so, you just happen to be able to talk to someone about it. Maybe it'll help you out. Maybe it'll help them out. Win-win.
The point of lobbying is that it's like a duck on the water. Above the water, you see a duck just quietly floating on the pond. Below the water, you got feet doing this. That's how politics works behind the scenes. Whether you're a trade union, whether you're a business group, whether you're an environmental group, you are furiously trying to get the attention of government.
So rich people and big corporations and unions can just pay to play politics. Well, yes, but also
No.
remember, you can write to your local politician with suggestions, and you can write or lobby anyone, whether it's your favourite footy team to release a new heritage jersey, or your local pub to extend happy hour. Whether it works or not is another question, but that's lobbying. And if it didn't work, people are certainly spending a lot of money for no reason, which would be weird. So if you don't mind me, I'm going to go talk to my boss about a new coffee machine.